All right. Welcome, Cardinal fans, to another post-game show edition of the Third Banner Pod. This is our 40th show together, guys. Can't believe it's already been 40 shows. I'm really excited to be on tonight after a big Cardinal win over Virginia Tech at home. Defense really dominated the show tonight, so I was really happy to see that. Tonight, guys, we've got myself, Ty, and we've got Kyle, and Ross will be hopping on soon, and maybe might be able to have one of his buddies on with him too. So we'll see what happens when Ross hops on. But guys, let's dive right in. What'd you guys think tonight?
Oh man, if you would have told me that, I know that's why we all wanted Jeff Brom, was because he's known as a great defensive coach and a great running coach. That's exactly what we all expected when we hired Jeff Brom, right? As usual, Ross is pitch black. So he's in there. Hey, welcome, Ross. But yeah, if you would have told anybody that, hey, we're going to be this defensive juggernaut and we're going to run the ball and we're going to set up the pass with the run, I don't think any of us saw that coming. And it just impresses me that much more, because that was my big concern about hiring Coach Braun was, well, are we going to have a defense? Is he going to bring Ron English in? Because, I watched him at Purdue. I didn't really hold it against them what happened under Cragthorpe, but I was skeptical about Purdue, but it becomes more evident. It becomes more evident every single day or every single game that we play that the problem was probably the personnel at Purdue, and he couldn't do what he wanted to, and now he can. Before I hand it off to you guys, I just want to welcome Wesley Keys, Robbie, Evan, Welch. Welcome to the Third Banner Pod tonight. We'll let you guys keep rolling on in. We're going to celebrate tonight. I'm going to pass it off to one of you guys.
Man, what a dominating defensive performance. Virginia Tech,
whooping.
Over the last few weeks, Virginia Tech's offense has really kind of figured it out. And, Drones has been impressive since he kind of took over for Wells, and our defense just shut them out pretty much all night long. And that's 2 back-to-back, just great defensive performances. I said it in the Discord when we were watching live. Like, I feel like a lot of us in there kind of need to eat some crow about Ron English, because he is in his bag as of recently. His defense is lights out. They follow their assignments. They know where to be. And they're making plays, man. They're making plays.
It's a historical year so far for the defense.
It is. And then efficiently on offense, man, the efficiency was glaring. I mean, Jack Plummer, 11 of 12, 141 yards and a touchdown. Wasn't asked to do too much.
Only 12 throws.
That's what I'm saying. It's crazy. And then Garindo, 11 carries, 146 yards. He had a career day today. What a win, man. It was a dominating performance.
Let me tell you, I called into the post-game show a stat that I think is just absolutely glaring, just hit you right in the face when you're talking about just dominance today. They had 140-something yards of total offense. Now, you look, Garindo had just about that today himself.
146 rushing yards.
We had 230-something yards, 231, I think, rushing yards offense. We had 90 more yards of rushing offense than they had total offense. I mean, that is an ass whipping. That is an ass whipping. That tells me you could see that stat, and I would be highly surprised if there's not even 1 out of 10 times you could see that stat and say the other team was even close. When you're doing that, you're controlling the time of possession. You are controlling the tempo. You're controlling everything about that game. We were never tested in that game. So, I thought after last week when we beat Duke and we handled them convincingly, I was like, okay, I see it. we are a different team at home. But after today, to follow that up after Duke, I mean, we are just a completely different team at home than what we've seen on the road thus far.
Right.
Which, that being said, not looking ahead, but we can talk about it. But Virginia, I feel sorry for you because you ain't got a hell's chance next week. Sorry, you don't. I mean, it's just not going to happen. It's not.
Yeah, I'm with you, Ross. I don't think we're going to lose another regular season game. I think we're on our way to the ACC championship game. And to echo what you were saying about the defense, it's really incredible uh, how few yards we gave up and only 3 points. When you consider the fact that we also only had we almost only got one turnover, so it's not like they were just turning the ball
Yeah.
and that's why they weren't gaining yards. I mean, our defense was just shutting them down all night long, constantly in the backfield. I mean, it was fun to watch. Honestly, I said this earlier today, but that defense today, I mean, it's starting to give me vibes of that 2004 defense. Ross, Kyle, you guys probably remember what I'm talking about here. That year, we had two shutouts, one of those at Kenan Stadium at North Carolina in a
Yep.
rout. I believe it was 30-0 in that game. We also had 6 total games where we held the other team to single digits or less. So this defense is starting to give me vibes of that year. And that was a very special team. In fact, I've always felt like that team was probably actually better than the team that beat Wake Forest in the Orange Bowl. Because of so many NFL players that came off that 04 team.
Yeah.
Honestly, the way that we can get pressure with the front four, and they rotate them so frequently too. You know, like you've got a lot of players on a defensive line that are playing lots. They are subbing them out. They are subbing them out often, and the fact that they're able to so consistently, no matter who's in there, get pressure. That to me is very reminiscent of Charlie Strong and Vance Bedford defenses. Their defenses were built on that, the 7 in the box, so to speak. And really around those defensive lines, when you look at what they had, we had superb defensive line play under those guys when Charlie, Vance, Clint Hurt, when they were running the ship. And this is, we have had some guys come through here since then, with Grantham's defenses and the way he called a game, whether it be Grenard or Devontae Fields or, there have been a few other guys, but this defensive line as a whole, the way they're able to contribute, I mean, they're just it's literally 10 guys that are playing nonstop, and we are just dogging the hell out of teams' offensive lines. I mean, we're just giving them so many problems.
Well, and if you would have told me that this year's defense would be better than last year's after we lost 2 absolute studs to the NFL, Yasser Abdullah and Yaya Diaby, among others. I mean, I just would have been I don't know. I would have said, man, especially with Coach Braum coming in. I mean, let's just be honest. They weren't really known for defense. I made a joke at the opening of the pod. But, yeah, it just becomes more apparent every day that Ron English, with his personnel that he has right now,
my hips are cramping.
I don't know if it's that he's just adjusted because it didn't work at Purdue when he didn't bring pressure, or if it is because the personnel here allows him to do a bit more. It's probably a combination of the two. But I love the way he's dialing things up right now. He doesn't always bring pressure, but he disguises it well when he does bring it. And sometimes it looks like he's coming to bring the house and he drops them all back, but he does it in key moments. And my only criticism of him this entire year has been sometimes against a brand new quarterback, he'll just try to get away with rushing 4. But other than that, that's like you're talking about like he gets an A+ so far this year for everything. I mean, I'm just saying if you had to nitpick something, but I mean, he is he's got us in a position to have a historical defense if we can continue this. And our front four is a problem, man. I mean, it's a problem. And then you pair that, our linebackers are a lot better. I mean, Watts is all over the place. He's a madman out there.
Yeah, he
And,
is. He's a
our
problem.
linebackers are really good, and that's where I thought we'd struggle the most. And see, I thought when we got Keith Brown, I thought, okay, Keith Brown's going to be a starter, and he's going to be a big key piece because we don't have a whole lot else. Well, I was wrong, and he's not even hardly playing. So, and we're killing it. So it's like it's insane. And then you look at, of course, our secondary. You pair that with our line, and it's just it's insane on defense. And this is without MJ Griffin. It's without arguably our best defensive player.
Yeah.
Maybe Ben Perry
Yep.
and Ashton. He was right there with them, though. If you really remember what he did last year when he got his chance.
Hey,
We're doing that without him.
He made our different. By week 4 last year, when MJ Griffin was getting the majority of the snaps,
It made
at
all the
safety,
difference.
he made everybody better. He made everybody better that was in front of him. Like, he is a difference maker. And so you're right. Like, the fact that we're doing this without a player that we expected to have this year of his caliber.
It's insanity, man.
Dude,
kudos to the coaching staff, man. Turning this roster around like they did, and then getting them to buy in and doing a whole new scheme this year with a 4 down lineman, and it's just it's impressive, man.
Well, and look, here's my thing too. I always said that we had no business running 3 down linemen at a school like ours. Now, I will just say, like, if we were a Bama or we were a Notre Dame or we were one of the traditional blue bloods, and you can attract those high caliber zero technique nose tackles,
pass rushers, and stuff like that.
No, not even pass rushers. We can get those. You can develop those. What you have to get in a system like that is you have to have the next level zero technique nose tackle to be able to occupy double teams at all times, and that is those players are few and far between.
Those are the ones Macro's hoping we get in on.
I'll say Macro.
Yeah, and
Macro is all about that.
We're talking Macro's language now.
You can you can develop those, you can groom them, and you can get those players if you recruit them, but it is very hard to find them because they're so few and far between. And traditionally, all those players that are the high caliber zero technique nose tackles that you need, they go to all the blue bloods. You're facing such an uphill battle. So a school like us, we are much more capable of competing at a high level when you have 4 defensive linemen. It's just the way it is. You got more guys up there in the box. So
yeah, I'm about to turn this NC State game on. I don't think they're going to beat Miami because their offense is just not very good. But I'm rooting for them.
Well, the one game that we really need to be watching, I mean, obviously NC State, Miami too, but Washington and USC is another one that we need to keep a close eye on because USC is up 21-14 here in the second quarter. That game, I think Evan said it in the chat, perhaps. Yeah, Evan said it. Washington USC is about to be played in the 50s. He's right. That's high scoring game right now, and that's going to have a lot of implications for. And you talked about it, Ross. We can kind of look a little bit ahead. Obviously, we still have we got to take it one game at a time, but at 8-1 and being 13th in the rankings, the college football playoff rankings, you have to start looking ahead a little bit. It's hard not to.
NC State's up 7-3.
Oklahoma State beating Oklahoma today was huge for us. That was huge.
Ty put Couch House's comment about Watts back up on the screen. Was that you in the Discord that was really high on Watts?
Me and UL Cards are actually the co-founders of the Antonio Watts fan club.
Yeah. Couch House, he's been around this year. I think he had his best game today, but he's had some good games.
He caught my eye in the Georgia Tech game. Actually, he had some big plays in the Georgia Tech game. And I feel like ever since when he's the time that he's got, he's been very solid.
Robbie, I mentioned the DBs. I see your comment there. I mentioned with pairing with our secondary, and Storm Duck held his own. That's another thing we did not have. Arguably our best corner. I mean, we've argued. I think Quincy Riley's our best cover corner. I don't think that's debatable. Brownlee's really good though in the run support and a good cover corner. So his run support kind of helps him catch up. Who got joining us over there? Is that Chris?
Nope.
All right. Oh,
That's
Twats.
Twats. Okay.
Yeah, this is Travis.
What's up, guys?
Travis,
How y'all doing?
What's going on, man?
Just
What'd you
enjoying
think?
listening. You guys are doing great.
Appreciate it. What'd you think, man?
About the football game?
I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory, but let's hear your words.
I don't have to say anything. It's phenomenal.
True.
The defense, Ron English, my gosh. Who is this guy? I haven't
We all knew he was going to be great, right?
Oh yeah. Exactly.
Never a doubt.
Never a
Where
doubt.
did this come from? I'm speechless with him. Our offensive line looks phenomenal.
Yeah, with multiple guys out, it's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It is. Jawar Jordan, my gosh, dude. I mean, even Garindo looked phenomenal today.
Garindo had a game.
There was a couple of holds that got called back. The dude he runs hard. I don't know what to say.
That one hold was bullshit.
Yeah,
the one on the 60-yard run. I was actually watching that guy. I was watching the tight end on that play, like, don't hold. And I was pumped because I didn't think he did. I was like, yes. And then all of a sudden, they show the flag on a little scoreboard in yellow. I'm like, no. But it didn't even matter. Did not even matter.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, like, we were getting to the end of the second half, or maybe even the beginning of I say second half, I meant second quarter, end of the second quarter, going even the beginning of the second half. And, they kind of threatened a couple times. And I was like, man, that missed field goal is a big deal because we could be up 17-0 or 17-3. We'd be up 2 touchdowns right now. I thought there was a chance in that period where that could have come back to kind of haunt us,
right.
But it just did not, and the defense just did not stop.
There really wasn't a point in the game where I thought that it was in jeopardy. I feel it's kind of like the Duke game. Like I felt like we were going to win the game regardless of what happened, regardless of whatever Virginia Tech or what Duke did last week. I feel like we were going to win the game. Like there was just too much. You could see it in the players. You could see it in the sidelines. There was just too much there to let the other team win the game. And I mean, credit Brom, man. I mean, Brom I feel like he just gets the team ready every week.
Right.
Well, sans the Pittsburgh game, but you come back at home and you just know. I feel like there's not a team that's going to beat us at home.
Well, I actually feel like the Pittsburgh game. I feel like we did come out rolling, and then I feel like the coaches kind of got ahead of themselves and went in panic mode.
Yeah,
I think they stuck to what was working, but I mean that is There's also here's what I've done with the Pitt game. How I rationalize in my mind. I'm like, okay, we lost the Pitt game. It sucked, but we squeaked out a win against Georgia Tech. We could have easily lost. We were honestly, I really think IU, if they call a better play at the half-yard line, they probably get in because we were real. And thankfully, they did not. They did the most predictable play ever, and we stopped it. Props to the defense, nonetheless. And then, of course, the NC State
freshman linebacker Stanquan Clark made that play.
Yeah, he did. And then NC State, I mean, that was another one. It was like, oh, my God. Like, it just took everything. Jack didn't have a great game, and our defense bailed us out. But I look at those, and we won 3 out of the 4 games, or we won 3 out of 3 of the barn burners, and then the Pitt game happened. So I'll take it. I'll take it.
And looking back at the season too, I mean, it's just like we've built on it. Like if we were going to take those losses, it was going to be early in the season because you got a new system, new coach, new players, and new transfers and stuff. And it's just like we managed to win those games, and that's why it's just such a letdown with Pitt. I mean, I hate to drag on that, but it's just like, man, what could have been hindsight, But we're just going to keep building now, and I feel like, man, we're just going to keep rolling.
Yeah,
I mean, Miami look out for sure because Miami is one of those games, but by God, we're gonna fucking truck Kentucky. Sorry for the language. We're gonna truck.
21
the hell.
days, boys. 21
How many-
days.
21 days.
How many
so
days,
focused on the
Ash?
ACC
How
right
many
now.
days?
21.
I'm so
21
focused on the
days.
ACC
Dude,
right now.
that Kentucky
It's in the
Louisville
back of
game
my
is going to
mind.
that Kentucky Louisville game is going to look a lot like the Duke game. Like we are just going to shut them down.
I think so.
Feel it.
I think
Let's
so.
get healthy. Let's get healthy, and we're going to shut them down.
Trent, I think you're right. Do you do have a radio voice? He says you have a radio voice. I agree with that. I was thinking that when you were sitting there talking. I was like, okay.
Hey, that's
listen,
better than have a
This dude's gotta
radio
take
face.
over our pod, man.
Hey,
You don't tell me I got a radio face.
Yeah,
Just hell up.
that's way better than having a radio
Hey.
face.
listen
He
to
can't
this,
even
Paul
see,
Rogers. Listen to this, Paul Rogers. Go.
All right. Well, Lamar Jackson here. We're doing a little interview here after the game of the Clemson, and you had a great game, and you threw for 400 yards, you rushed for another 150, and you threw to James Quick. James Quick just ran out of bounds a little too early. It's all right. You guys had a great game. What do you think about your performance tonight?
Man, Coach Bobby just told me to in there and make plays. Bobby just told me he just called me to make plays. I can't do it right now, man. No, he's got that Paul
That's pretty
Rogers now,
good.
Pat.
That's
Yeah.
pretty good, Paul Rogers.
Yeah.
That's like a young Paul Rogers.
Me and Paul Wall / Rogers, we're cool.
Paul Wall.
Hey, I just want to let you guys know. Hey, I tune in your all's podcast all the time. I love it. I got different monikers on the YouTube when I throw in there and just put my little chime in. But you guys are great. Kyle, you're phenomenal, man. Ash, you're phenomenal. And wait, I know this guy up here in the top right.
Oh no,
Ty.
Ty.
Oh yeah,
there we go.
you're the Ty
There we
guy.
Tie guy.
Hey, appreciate
love it.
that,
I love
man.
it, guys.
Appreciate
Canes
it.
guy.
Yeah,
Canes guy, yeah.
Canes lover.
Oh yeah, he's the one that likes the cane sauce, right?
Yes,
He's eating on
sir.
the sauce. He's on the
Yes,
sauce.
sir.
I'm not gonna hate.
Oh man.
It's always good listening to you guys, and I'm glad to be on with Ross here, even though we're in the dark. It's getting kind of weird over here, but
Hey, you
Hey,
should call in a lot more, man.
He's just never in the same place. Like I feel like Ross could be anywhere from like the middle of the dark alley on the West End to like the back of a strip club, VIP.
just tuning in over here.
So, like,
Just
I don't
tuning
know.
in.
Like
Hey.
Ross is now. He was driving last. He was an Uber driver last time. He was
Yeah.
a DoorDash. And he
I
dropping
was
off-
delivering people's food last week.
delivering food last time. I mean, what
Yeah.
the hell? Man?
Yeah,
A little
man.
DoorDash action. What's up?
Did Ross bring on his gay lover?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, you did.
Hey, I did, and leave it alone.
Hey, easy, fellas, easy. I'm single now, so.
Oh shit.
Uh-oh.
Oh man. Yeah, man.
I'm over here watching the NC State game side-eyed. They're up 7-3, but Miami's marching. If we can, if NC State could do us a solid,
I
Mm.
know.
that would be huge.
Look, we're gonna run through Virginia.
Oh,
I have no doubt about it.
Hey, listen. You ever seen the Marshawn Lynch clip where he's just like over and 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 over, and he's like, what do you think that means? He's like, run through a motherfucker face. Like, that's what we're gonna do to Virginia next week. Sorry, like I can't dub that. Like, that's a direct quote from Marshawn Lynch. Right, that is what that's what we're bringing next week. We are about to just destroy that team. I'm sorry, they don't have an offense. That Virginia Tech offense coming into today, they haven't faced a lot of opponents like us in the big wins that they have, but they had found offense. Drones has been a problem, and we made him look like a first starting quarterback today. Virginia
To supplement that, Drones was 12 of 21, 69 yards and an interception. That's his first interception on the year.
Yeah, I mean they made him look like
first interception on the year.
That's his first interception.
Well, he's only been.
Hey,
He's only been.
what about that interception though? That was wild.
That
How
was a
did
wild
Watts
play.
catch that? Oh my god! Like that was sheer insanity. I don't know if he caught it or if he just reflexively had the ball land perfectly in his hands, but either way, it was insane. I did see where Evan said, "How about a shout out for Brian Hudson? He deserves it too. What a tough dude." That's correct.
Yeah.
Brian Hudson's been gutting through it all almost ever since the BC game. So
That's
Yeah.
friend of the pod, Brian Hudson, by the way. Friend of the
That
pod.
is- that is
we're
correct.
on
Yeah,
the
where's your
pod.
boy, Mr. Khan?
Yeah. Anybody can
Connor.
Connor is a good
Hey,
dude.
Ty,
I
talk
don't even
that
see
ish.
Connor in the chat.
Talk that ish about Connor while he's not here. Come on.
About Connor. Yeah, there's still plenty of time. We'll get into some
I feel
Connor
like the
hate.
fifth window is going to pop up real quick, and Connor's going to
Yeah,
go, "What's up?"
You'll
bitch?"
see the fifth one. He'll be coming in wearing his Tennessee shit.
Macro, you're right. We are dominating the line of scrimmage. So how do you
Mhm.
feel, Macro? I know you want the 4-star top 250 defensive tackles. You've let us know. But how do you feel about these guys that are being developed, man? I mean, I feel like we've got them now. I mean, they may not came in that way, but they are now.
Man, with the injuries we've had and what's going on with our offensive line, it's man, it's refreshing to have that. Like I felt like I mean, you go back in time and you look at like strong years and like the offensive line was good, and then it's depleted, and then you got Petrino his first couple of years, and we got freaking what's Tobias Hewley in there, freaking
Oh,
Yeah.
snapping it, and then it's just like from then on, like the offensive line is just like under Ledford, and it's just kept building and building and building,
Yeah.
and finally the
hey,
trenches
no
are like.
disrespect to
Well,
Hewley,
That's a good point.
Hewley owes
Yeah.
me a meal because one time I was sitting up in row Z, up like way up top, and he snapped the ball, and I had a nosebleed, and the ball just hit me right in the head, way up top of the stadium. They say you're in the nosebleeds, and that's correct because he snapped the ball so far above the quarterback's head, smacked me right in the nose. But all seriously, being serious though, man, we have come a long way. We have come a very long way.
Yeah, I mean,
Yes, we have.
just think about. Sorry, I pushed the wrong button there. Think about how far we've come from Tobias Hewley,
No
Keola
disrespect.
Mahoney, and Khalil Hunter as our interior linemen. I mean,
I
it's
will never forget Hunter falling over before the play started at the Houston game.
I did forget about
the
that.
Houston game. The Houston game,
Oh
yeah.
my God,
Yeah.
the Houston game.
He just fell
no.
backwards.
He just fell over before the play even started.
What's
I will
worse,
never
that
forget
or when
that.
Anas Mahmoud got a basket interference on himself against Michigan?
I don't know.
Khalil Hunter, for
Khalil's
sure.
was far more embarrassing because
I don't know. A basket interference on yourself.
I
when
think we need
nobody's
to go
contesting your
replay that. I'm
shot,
going to
that's
look
pretty
that play
bad.
up. I think we need to watch it again. That one was,
And listen, Ty, the way he did it too, he literally was just like
it was
elbows-
slow
It was
motion.
bad.
It was
I'd
slow
say it was
motion.
worse.
knees locked in place, elbows locked in place, just fell straight backwards. I mean, if there was ever a dude that had been seeing a ghost of Ed Oliver in that game, it was Khalil Hunter. Like
You would have
that game.
thought the way he fell backwards, you would have thought he found out he was going to be a father and just fainted.
Hey,
Yeah.
let's put this up on the screen since we're talking about it. Hold on, let me.
Oh, you
find
got it?
Yeah,
Damn, that
I
was
do.
fast. That was fast.
Ty's quick with it tonight.
Is it on? All right, cool.
Oh shit! Oh my gosh, you got it.
You are quick, man. You're faster than Jimmy Johnson Louis driver.
Dude, look, he's
Oh,
Oh no!
It's so bad. It's so bad.
He wasn't ready.
It looks
He wasn't
funny in
ready.
slow motion.
Oh man.
Oh, you see the
Oh,
crowd? I go back.
Yeah, go back to the girl.
Please tell me that was a Houston fan.
Oh no! It's just he just
Oh.
he took one step and he was shook.
Khalil
How-
Hunter.
how-
remember-
How did Lamar Jackson do what he did with that offensive line? I will never understand it. Oh my god!
Khalil
Well, he
Hunter is
almost
going to be
threw a football
thinking
at him.
about Ed
Oh, my
Oliver for the rest of
God.
his life.
Oh man.
Oh.
Yeah, the fact that he was able to do, I mean, and we're getting off topic, but the fact that
That's
he
all
was
right.
able to do what he did with that interior line, man, and honestly, how the staff was able to mask that offensive line's deficiencies for 9 games is absolutely incredible.
Well, really, I don't even think it was the staff. I just think it was Lamar's athletic
It was.
ability. You know, like I think it was. I mean, you look at back of that staff. Like who do we have? We had freaking Nick Petrino as Lamar's quarterback coach. I mean, I don't think there was any masking there. I think it was just Lamar was just such a special player that he just made it happen.
I mean, I agree with that, but they definitely did, because you look at the week before that, literally 5 days before, we were playing Clemson. We were all down in Clemson. Me and him were down there. You were going against a Clemson defensive line that featured Dexter Lawrence, Watkins, Cleveland Farrell, and who was the fourth one?
Christian Wilkins, maybe.
No, that Wilkins is what I meant, not Watkins. It was Watkins, Cleveland Farrell, Dexter Lawrence, and there was a fourth one on the other side opposite of Cleveland Farrell. The fact that offensive line was able to be competent against all four of those dudes went to the NFL. Most of them are still playing.
They were all first-round picks, too.
I did want to talk about, like, to stick to the game. That way we can kind of not lose people here on the.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. I was going to see, like, we should pull up some tweets. I shared some tweets in the group there that we can pull up just to kind of recap the game. I kind of want to do these on post games where we recap some of the better tweets of the night.
Where do you want to start with Brom in the locker room?
Brom in the locker room. Let's start with that one.
Oh, I haven't seen this. I
have not seen it.
Congrats. I'm tipping my hat. All you guys did a great job. We got some unselfish players here too as well. Great job on defense again. Dominated as well. Getting sacks, getting negative plays, getting turnovers, limiting them to only 140 yards total.
Yeah.
Congrats.
That's a badass
140 yards total.
That's a badass
hoodie.
I
was looking
need
at
that hoodie.
Man. Where do you get that?
And listen, you know what's awesome? I know we know it's coming, right? We still haven't gotten that Brom pre-game, throw a chair, punch an old lady. Like, we haven't gotten that locker room, video yet, but something tells me he's going to give it to us in that U of K game.
Yes.
For the UK game, he's going to take Katarius Hicks and break him over his knee and throw him into the whiteboard.
That Rutherford Doomerville.
Yeah. He's like, oh no, it's a tombstone. Why does it have to be Hicks? It's a tombstone.
Why does it have to be Hicks?
I feel like Rutherford's got the Twitter game. He's always he always brings it strong. But
he is.
Look, Elvis Doomerville somewhere, and
Rutherford
remembers that from when Marcus Vick stomped on his leg.
Oh yeah. Oh shit. Then I was down at the Gator Bowl when that happened too. Yeah, that was rough. Oh.
Stomped on the back of his knee.
Let's see. Mark Ennis says Louisville should play or plan to bring in Wolfmother for the UK game to play Joker Nafeeth. Like, that would be awesome.
I was saying today. So we're coming out to Wolfmother at when we run out of the tunnel, and we're also playing it at the beginning of the fourth quarter like we always had. That's our song now. That is our song, like 100%. It's ours.
It is ours. Nope. I heard Kansas State trying to say it was theirs. No,
it's ours. No.
Look, hey, JoJo Stone, Revenge of the Third Man Pop. We have waited months. LSU.
If we have the go-to source for JoJo Stone news and Ash here on the show tonight. Ash, take a victory lap for your efforts. You had that all the way.
Hey, I just have to say, when Alabama beats LSU tonight, that gap in the college football playoff rankings is going to grow a little bit more. So LSU is just going to keep on falling behind us even more.
Yes, sir.
Hey, play that video. Let's play it.
Clip it and ship it.
We didn't play it last time we talked about it, but for anybody,
JoJo Stone too. Our football team going to just take JoJo Stone too.
That's right.
That's it. Oh, they short clipped it.
He shortened it. Yeah.
That's from June 15th, by the way. We knew the whole time. We had somebody that was telling us, like, hey, I've got somebody close in that camp. And they're telling us, just give it time, be patient. That the staff's doing a good job recruiting them. And here he is, JoJo Stone. Welcome to Louisville.
Real quick, I just have a quick question for you guys, because just watching the game and thinking about our defense, who was our best player on defense today?
I think it was Mason Rear. I really do. But Watts was a close second.
I mean, the way
was really impressive today.
It's hard to overlook. Like, I know that Virginia Tech has their deficiencies, right? But I literally watched them against Syracuse, a week ago on a Thursday night game, and Drones was able to throw that ball downfield plenty. So to me, like, Quincy Riley's ability, not only to shut down an entire side of the field, but to do it when Brownlee is out, like that dude is an absolute stud.
He's special.
He is a special player.
Real quick, just looking at like our defense today, our linebacker core all season has been so tremendously underrated.
And they get better and better. They get better and better.
Man, oh my God. Even Alderman today had some awesome play. I was
going to say Alderman has been super impressive, and I thought he had a good game today. It was kind of quiet, but it was a good game. Quinn had the interception, and he had multiple tackles.
Yeah.
And like I said, Watts, I've been really impressed with Watts all year long, and I thought he had a nice game today too. So
it looks like some Satterfield tweets coming in. Satterfield is very upset.
Inject the Satterfield shit into my.
He said he told the team they will work with whoever shows up in the locker room tomorrow. What? So is he expecting them all to quit?
It is looking rough.
What kind of statement is that?
Oh man, that guy is. He's living on the edge, bro.
Listen, you should say, I am only going to let a certain amount of kids show up due to the lack of effort. But you're like, I'm going to work with whoever shows up. The rest of them can. I mean, if they don't show up, it's fine. It's not like we're doing bad or anything right now.
Did you see? Somebody posted in the Discord earlier. Did you see those buyouts?
No. Is it insane?
So 2024, his buyout after this year is like, I think it's like $19.5 million next year. And in 2025, it's like 14. And then it dropped in 2026, it drops down to like 8.6. Can you imagine 3 years of Satterfield? 3 years from now, his buyout is still $8.6 million.
I can, because that's what it was when they paid us for him. So yes, I can imagine that.
Yeah. Oh, Cincinnati, the real MVP of everything.
Evan, no, I don't think Sat will get canned based on what we just said. I don't think they have that kind of money.
They don't.
Do they? They gave us. How much did they pay us for him? How much did they give us? Was it 8 or 6?
I wish they paid us $8.5 million.
I think it was. I thought it was like 5 something.
I'll go look it up and see what it is. But I mean,
I'm just glad he's not our coach anymore, because that dude was warm pudding, and I hated him, and he sucked.
Warm pudding.
He sucked. I hated his ass so bad. That we were never going to do anything close to what we're doing right now. You never thought a game like today with a SAT staff and a SAT play calling, we could have lost this game.
We might have won, but it would have been one of those like, we won by like 3 points.
Yeah,
like,
it would have been
came down to the wire.
It would have been way closer than it needed to.
Oh, interception! North Carolina State in the end zone. Let's go.
He sucks, dude.
I just looked it up. It was 3.5, but still.
There you go. Yeah, I thought it was around 5.
3.5 mil too much. So,
wish it was 8.5.
Man, if we had
what the hell is warm pudding?
Man, if we still had Sat and Kenny Payne as our basketball coach, man, I don't even know if life would be worth living right now. Like, I don't even know, man.
Yeah.
Did we go through all the tweets? I didn't know if we did or not.
Yeah, I've hit them all. I had JoJo Stone up there if y'all want to talk about that some more.
Yeah. Let's talk about JoJo Stone. That was something that's been in the works, like we said, for a long time. And here we are, JoJo Stone today at the game. He takes a picture crossing of the bridge, the Ohio River. And within about 5 minutes, I think he pulled the trigger. So it was nice to see, another 4-star receiver. And why would you not want to come play for Coach Brom if you're a receiver right now? And by the way, shout out to the receivers. I know we didn't throw the ball very much, but they showed up and did what they needed to do without Jamari Thrash, which I was really nervous about that part of it. And I was really nervous with all the injuries.
Can we talk about Jaden Thompson's 13-mile-per-hour sprint to the end zone? That was, bro.
Hey, all brake, no gas.
Dude,
I had time to get up and go to the bathroom and come back, and he still hadn't crossed the goal line.
Bro, that was the slowest run I've ever seen.
And he still didn't get caught. It's
I'm about to pull up the Greg Jennings clip because that's exactly what it was like.
It was, and that was funny. Somebody posted that in the Discord, and then I saw Mike Rutherford shared it too. It was funny, the same clip. Yeah, it was ugly. I was like, I've never seen
a podcast with all the dumbasses around.
Everybody's getting in now.
Okay? You can't have a podcast with all us around, man. It just ain't gonna work.
Hey, Chris is on
It
there.
ain't gonna work, man. It ain't gonna happen.
Oh, is that who that is? I can't see.
Yeah.
It's so
Okay.
dark.
By the way, I have never felt more confident about a game until Kyle got nervous this week about a game. I was
I got
so
nervous with
confident
the
we were going to
injury
win.
reports.
I
Do
wasn't
what?
nervous about a home game.
Hey,
I
when
wasn't
when I get nervous, it's a bad thing usually. I've been telling
No,
you
I
that,
love
man.
it. I love it because I know we're going to win. It might be a close
Pittsburgh?
game. It might be a close game, but
Yeah,
I
we
know
will
we're going
win.
to win.
Yeah.
I thought Pittsburgh was I said trap stew, baby. Y'all laughed at me in here. I said Pittsburgh's trap stew.
but
They
you
got
also
all the
thought the-
ingredients.
You thought the 5 games before that were going to be close.
They were,
No, they weren't.
except for BC.
Exactly. Okay.
Notre Dame
You
was
don't
really
wanna-
close.
Okay. Except for the one game.
And Murray State.
Oh,
that's a
domination.
given.
Notre
That's a-
Dame wasn't close.
But, well, I went back and forth on Notre Dame. I didn't know
Yeah,
what to
what-
take.
What about
I was-
Notre
Me
Dame,
and
Chris?
Ross had that pick
Oh, shut up.
months ago.
Yeah. Me
Yeah, I
and
went-
Ash called it. Hey, what about Notre Dame, Chris?
Yeah, so I had a bad day that day. It was
Yeah.
That's
I got married that day. I couldn't, I'm sorry. Like I had a 1 in 14 shot. And I fucking nailed it. It was right, it was right there. Like
Oh man.
I don't know. I don't have anything.
Hey,
to
I
say
felt
about
really
that.
good about the Duke game, and other people were super nervous.
I
like,
was
"Nah."
I was nervous about
I was
the
like,
Duke
we're
game.
gonna
I was
roll those
nervous as
dudes.
hell. I was
See, I'm all
nervous
about,
as
like,
hell.
the
I was
I'm all about the psychology. Like I knew the hangover. Like you get on a high after beating Notre Dame, for example.
Yeah.
And everybody's saying awesome, and you got to go play Pittsburgh in the rain. You got to go play Nancy Boy Narduzzi. Like it's just not. It's not fun. It's not a fun day.
That game was a fluke, dude. It was a fluke.
It is a
our
fluke.
coaches overlooked that game. Our coaches did not respect that game. I'm sorry.
Just overthought.
Well,
the game.
and while we're talking about that, Ross, like I said this before we started, that's why Virginia worries me a little bit because it's in the middle of the week. I know Virginia sucks; they have not been that good, but because it's a Thursday night game, I just hope that the coaches, and I figure the coaches will, but I hope the players still take it seriously, one game at a time. Don't look ahead. We still have to get through this team before we get to anything that we really want to, go for. But it worries me a little bit.
Okay, I just want to say one thing. Me and Ross are not in a dungeon. I know it looks like that, but the Virginia game doesn't worry me at all because it's at home.
Yeah.
It is at home. That is the
If
one
they- if,
saving
like,
grace.
So there's been the last 2 games, like they've gotten past the 50-yard line twice in 2 teams.
Yeah.
So if our defense just keeps doing that against a bad team,
Yeah.
we're fine.
Yeah.
Like
Be
our
all right.
offense can do nothing and we'll win.
Yeah.
That's in my opinion. Like
Yeah.
our defense at home has been amazing.
You guys aren't in a dungeon. You're in a deal.
Like Ron English, I was questionable about the hire when we hired him. Shut up, Travis. But like Ron English has called amazing games at home.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
amazing.
Yeah, I mean, and I can't help but think, to me, like, I can't help but think that, like, Jeff has been very vocal about that, being like, look, we're at home, get the crowd into it. The crowd will be there. The defense will feed off of it. Just get them engaged and we will win this game. Like, call the game more aggressively. And when you look at the way English has called a game on the road compared to when we're at home, I mean, he's so much more aggressive at home. I mean, he's very aggressive in the way he calls a game at home.
Well,
So-
I think the big thing with Virginia that I'm looking at is are our guys going to be able to turn around in 5 days? The ones that are kind of reeling with injuries, as long as they can, as long as we don't lose any key. Like I'm telling you, you lose a guy like Brian Hudson, for example, that does change things dramatically.
Yeah, it does.
That would be a huge blow. So we got to hope that he can turn around in 5 days. I know he's been, getting up for the game. He's tough as nails. I know he's had a nagging knee injury that's The MCL came back negative from what I understand, so there's nothing broken from what I understand, but he's got something going on. I don't know if it's just a knee bruise or contusion. I don't know what's going on, but only having 5 days, so I'll be watching that closely. And, can Jamari Thrash come back? But even if he can't, we'll be all right. I just don't want a whole litany of injuries, I guess. We need to get healthy going into that Miami game. Just beat Virginia, do what you need to do. Let's hope our guys can turn around in 5 days. I guess that's my only big hang up is can our team come in there and have our horses?
And I'm not saying that I think Virginia is going to win, because I think we're going to win the game. But we've talked about like games that worry us going into it, and like I'm just going to be honest, like because it's a weekday game, a Thursday night, like it just kind of screams Brom game, and we don't want to talk about it that way. And I love
I'm
Jeff
not
Brom. I
subscribing to
love
it.
Jeff.
I'm the
I
only
listen.
Don't talk about Bruno.
I love Jeff. Okay, but that's the one like real problem that we've seen throughout his coaching career is like just randomly there's one game that they just lose that they shouldn't. I'm hoping that Pitt is
We
just the
did that.
one time. I'm hoping that's it. But I think we win. It does worry me. It just does. So
Yeah, I mean, I see where you're coming from, but I think that this staff, I think that this team has learned their lesson with the Pitt game, that you're not so overly dominant that you can't go into a game and not go out and play your game and go out there and play it. Like you can't overlook anybody. So I think we've learned our lesson in that regard. And I think we'll be okay. I just don't think I really don't like. I don't expect to have Thrash next week or Thursday against Virginia if the rumors are true that he had plate and screws put in his hand. That being said, I wouldn't rule him out for the Miami game, and I will say he's probably for sure he's going to play the Kentucky game. He will play the Kentucky game.
Oh well, yeah, I would figure that.
So
it's crazy, but it's like because of the position we're in with the ACC right now, sole possession, second place, controlling our own destiny. I actually am not even looking at the UK game yet. I know Ash is. Ash has got a tick.
21 days.
Seconds. I think he's got the seconds ticking down for exactly how many seconds there are before kickoff. But another turnover by NC State. Their offense is dog water. Anyway, I'm just so entrenched in like this game right here and beating Miami, going down there, of course, taking care of Virginia. I can't even look at UK, but I hope Jamari Thrash is back for the Miami game. We need him bad for that one. If he wants to sit out the Virginia game, we'll be fine. We got to have him for Miami.
Alabama and LSU were tied at 21 at halftime.
Well, and to keep up the score updates, USC fell behind Washington, so that's over because USC can't stop my grandma from scoring. So that one's definitely over.
I hope that's like never mind. Your dad's watch.
Guys,
okay. Well, hold up.
I am not worried about this Virginia game at all, and we'll preview Virginia a little more on Wednesday.
We will.
But my opinion is our defense has just been on an upward trajectory every single game. And I have no doubts in our offensive capabilities. I don't think we have another regular season game that's within 2 touchdowns. I think that we win every game pretty easily the rest of the regular season. And then we'll see what happens in the ACC championship game.
Hey, you don't want to see Tony Muskett on a Thursday night, boys. I'm telling you.
Robbie, I'm going to say no. He says, would you sacrifice a virgin loss? I think he means Virginia, but we know what's on your mind, Robbie.
We definitely would
sacrifice a virgin
losing our virginity for that.
I would probably sacrifice a virgin, but I assume you mean a Virginia loss. We
throw that virgin in the volcano.
Yeah, I was say,
that's what
we throw it. Are we
I would not sacrifice a
no?
Virginia loss for UK right now, no, because we got an ACC championship on the line, and to see us play in that game would be just incredible. I'd be really pissed if we lost to UK right before that game, but nonetheless, like we've beaten UK before. It's been a little while, thanks Sunbelt Scott. But
yeah, thanks.
Nonetheless, we have beat them before. We have never
Shat.
played in an ACC championship game.
Listen, Robbie,
we lost that game also because of the rain.
Robbie,
If there
if we're
wasn't such bad
sacrificing
weather, we'd probably win that game.
Virgin Connor, then yes, I will sacrifice. I will make that sacrifice every day.
There it is.
It all comes back to
it's
Connor
awesome.
every time. Poor Connor.
I have to just because he's not here.
Hey, we call Connor the
Captain
dog pound
Hampton.
because he's always
Captain
catching
Hampton.
strays.
What's up, boy?
Captain Hampton is back.
And on cue, we have
there
Connor
he
joining
is.
us.
There
Oh,
it
What's
is.
up, boys?
There he is.
There's the
Sorry,
dog
I'm-
pound because he's always catching strays.
Damn.
I'm still driving, but I just dropped my girlfriend off at her house. I'm going back home.
Are you okay?
Oh,
okay.
You sound
Did
like
the Govs
you're-
get a
holy
win today?
shit! Holy shit!
If you get in a wreck,
That game
on
was
this
great.
pod, I don't know if you should be driving, bro.
Is
You
he-
know,
Is he
man.
talking
this
to
is-
himself?
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I'm alone now, so
Yeah, talking to yourself.
Right.
Do you know
Right.
you're on the pod?
yes, I do.
Did the Govs get a win today, Connor?
Yes.
Did the Peabodys
All right.
get a win?
Yes.
Okay.
In overtime against EKU, 33-30.
All right. Well, we don't want to promote unsafe driving, Connor, so we're gonna let you go, buddy.
Hey, Ross did it
Hey,
last
y'all.
week.
I know.
Y'all.
I know.
What'd you
I gotta
think
get
about the
off
game,
here.
Connor? What'd you think?
We're having a bonfire. It's been fun. I gotta get off here. Connor, good luck, buddy. Don't crash
I'll be
and
fine.
be safe. I love y'all. Go Cards. Go Kroger.
Yes,
Go
sir.
Publix. We got some Publix coming.
Yes, sir.
Tell me North Carolina State recovered that fumble. Please tell me. Yes. Now, here's the problem. They have it at the 10-yard line, but their offense is so garbage, they'll probably just turn it back over.
I'm listening to Alabama LSU, or I was before I jumped on here. What's going on in NC State?
NC State is up 1, and they just got a turnover at the 10-yard Miami's 10-yard line on a fumble.
God.
But they should have never had been in a position because they had it and they were marching and they threw a horrible.
So is the reason why we're so worried about that game because Miami, I don't understand. If Miami's tied with us, would they have the tiebreaker?
If they beat us, yes.
If they lose to this game tonight, they have 3 ACC losses. So even if they beat us,
well, then that would put us. Yeah, okay, I see what you
still
mean.
be ahead. So yeah, I'd like them just to be knocked out, and then
like a de facto elimination game there.
That's what today was. If we would have lost, it was a de facto elimination game with Virginia Tech.
Man, Miami's defense is fast. Well, let me guess, Ruben Bain. No, it wasn't Ruben Bain. But
Garendo, I know you all have probably talked about it, but Garendo had a great fucking game today.
Yes, he did.
He did.
Yeah,
he did.
It was beautiful. If you just put him in the eye, let him dot the I in the backfield and get him a lead blocker, he's gone.
Hey, that fullback, and I can't even remember his name. I feel terrible about 45 back there.
Was
he
it
puts
Dwayne
his
Martin?
head on people, man.
I think it's Dwayne Martin. I could be wrong.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Good grief. North Carolina State is just hot, burnt, steaming garbage on offense. It's pathetic. They were at the 5-yard line. Now they're just going backwards. They're going to go out of field goal range.
If you want offense, you're going to want to tune into USC Washington because that game is wild on offense.
Want a little offense from NC State. Their defense is bringing it.
If you really wanted offense, you would have watched Iowa and Northwestern today. What a barn burner!
That sounds terrible.
Doesn't even sound fun. Why
what was the final score? 6-3.
It was 0-0, halfway through the third quarter.
Oh,
my supervisor is from Iowa. She's an Iowa fan, and she thinks her coach. Did their coach get fired?
They fired their
the offensive coordinator.
Oh, that's what she was telling me. She's real
she
excited because she said it's been painful to watch them, and so
the offensive coordinator is the coach's son, is it not? It's Kirk Ferentz's son.
Well, I'm starting to think they coach NC State. I think they already got a new job because NC State.
Somebody told me, was it in Discord, that they said the live under of that game was 14.5 at halftime.
That's crazy.
Oh my gosh, I'm so disappointed in you. I'm not even mad at NC State. I'm just disappointed.
I saw a lot today that told me that this team is better than we all thought they were. 100%. If you can play without what, 4 starters that are not 100% and one being 5 starters and one being totally out, I think that says a lot.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Mhm.
And like Brian, have you all played the presser yet?
No, we
good.
haven't.
Not yet. I
They're
haven't.
good
looked
defense,
for it, though.
Evan, but the problem is North Carolina State has a terrible offense, man. Like that interception on the last drive when they were marching was just a terrible throw.
So at the end, Jeff says, and I quote, "You'll have to amputate Brian Hudson's leg for him not to be in the game."
All right, well, that answers it going forward. So every time he comes up as questionable, I'm just going to assume he's playing.
Well, so I was talking to mom and dad after the game, and they're like, when it came out on game day, we're like, huh? We talked to him last night. What are they talking about?
Well, yeah, it came from a pod, somebody else's, not our pod, but some.
Yeah. Well, I told Brian, I was like, listen, like it came from Rutherford. Like he said it yesterday on his podcast.
Which he never, to Mike's credit, he never said he was definitely out. He just said he was hearing he could be out. I mean, that is the case. I mean, we all know, I mean, Mike's close with that coaching staff, so it's not terribly surprising anytime when he says something that it could potentially happen.
I did see our favorite quarterback's dad tonight. Shout out Steve Clarkson.
Oh, okay, cool. Was he enjoying himself?
Yeah, he was down there. I talked to him, said thanks for the recruiting class last year, and he looked at me and said, "We're not done. Just wait."
Good, awesome, good to hear.
Do we want to go to Jeff Brom press conference?
Yes, we would love to.
I'll get that queued up.
I love a post-win press conference.
It's rather long.
Those are always the best ones.
Yes, dear.
Oh, we got Patrick in here. We'll get.
Our guys broke their balance and played a football game to get that win, and because of it, we had some guys picked up. And not for sure if they were going to play, but I give our guys a lot of credit. All of them tried to get ready, and they wanted to go out there. Some good, some couldn't. So I give them a lot of credit.
I don't know about that hat, man.
I don't care for the hat that much, but the hoodie was badass, though.
Nah, I hate
the camo hoodie was beautiful.
I think it goes with the camo hoodie a lot. That's probably
it probably does.
We had played as much, rose to the challenge, stepped up when their number was called, from our running back room, from our receiver room, from our defensive back room.
At least it ain't a freaking
all those
visor.
guys stepped up and did a really good job. So
they lost on a 2-point conversion today,
Very
too.
good point,
team that
Ty.
cares. They came ready to play, and it was another really great win in front of tremendous crowd that was into it, and our players feed off of it. So very proud of them, and it was a really good day of football.
You ever notice? You could pause real quick. You ever notice he's always really upbeat about our crowd, even when we don't feel it. Like he's the first coach to do it. I remember Petrino complained about it a little bit.
Charlie used to
Charlie
bitch about it
Strong
all
said
the
we
time.
were worse than UK fans, and we need to be more like them. That was the worst one. I know Coach Satterfield alluded to it too passively, because he always alluded to things passively, but he had made comments about not showing out.
Satterfield doesn't get to bitch about it because he gave us absolutely nothing to show up for.
Oh, I'm with you. I'm just saying, like, this is the first coach. He doesn't have to look up there and see every ass in the seat to know that, like, we are growing. That probably comes from being one of us. He knows what we came from to get to at least this point, and he knows Rome wasn't built in a day. You keep doing what you're doing, it won't be long. I don't think we're ever going to sell out every single game. Most places don't do that anymore in today's era. But I do think we can get to the point where we're bringing 55K plus every game. But it's going to take.
Ty, were you at the game?
Success.
I was not at the game. No.
So none of you all were at the game, right?
No, I had an event. I couldn't go. Stupid.
So when there's cards chants breaking out in the bathroom, that's when you know we're fucking back.
I mean, look, I don't want to go into too deep of a tangent on attendance. And for me personally, like, I can't really complain about it because I wasn't at the game either. Now that's going to change next year. I just bought season tickets, so I'll be there at the games next year. But for this year, like it's hard for me to really complain about attendance because I'm not helping the cause either. So I wasn't going. But
I've been to a few, had an event. I hope I can go to that UK game.
It's just going to take some time to build that back up. Like in the peak of the Strong era, and even like Bobby 2.0, like for the big games and a lot of the other games, like the attendance was great. And that's because we had great teams and it was consistency. It's going to take some time to build that up. The Satterfield era was boring and vanilla as it could possibly be. So when you come from 4 years of that to this, it's just going to take a while. And luckily we have the guy that can build that up. So it's going to take some time, but I think he's the one that will finally build that back up. And you're going to see, 52, 53K be the absolute minimum. And a lot more sellouts. It'll happen. It's just going to take time.
All right,
I didn't see a final number. What was the final number today?
49.2K. All right. We ready to roll?
Jeff, you guys haven't given up a touchdown, I think, in 123 minutes. What have you seen from the defense?
123 minutes.
That's allowed them to have a stretch like this.
Well, I know I've explained it a few times before, not to get technical, but we've prepared hard in the offseason to get a plan together that we believed in. That some of it's traditional, some of it's not. And we wanted to be multiple in what we did. And I just think, to talk generalities, it's about getting pressure on the quarterback. It's about getting in front of receivers and not allowing free releases, easy completions, making the quarterback hold it a little bit longer than he would like to. That will allow our defense to get in there and create sacks and get after the quarterback. Our linebackers have been able to play downhill, play multiple fronts. We shift, we stem, we move, we disguise coverages, and all those things matter. From a former quarterback and someone on offense, I know what we don't like to see. And I think right now our defense are doing a lot of those things that you don't want to see, and they're doing it very well. So eventually, of course, teams will game plan and try to do things, but we do a lot. So, you can prepare for a few things, but it's hard to prepare for all of it. And we have some wrinkles every week that we throw in there. So I just think our coaches have done a great job. Our players, because we've worked this for so long, understand it. They know it. We get the calls in, they execute it, and we're in the right position at the right time. We play well. Now, I do think playing complementary football has helped us. We've gone back to pounding the ball, running the ball, controlling the clock, trying to get positive plays, trying to get up early and not have turnovers and give them something easy. And when that happens, it allows your defense to tee off even more. So I just think all those things matter. Complementary football and unselfish play by some of our receivers and skill guys on offense mean a lot. And eventually we're going to need to chuck it around a lot as well. But right now it's very good complementary football.
I just want to pause it real quick. Just so I can understand, everybody in the chat, let me know. Do we need to turn this up a little bit, or is it too loud? I'm seeing like mixed comments. So in the chat, let me know. Do we need to turn this up? Can you all hear it?
I think he was just really quiet, honestly, because it sounded like that on 93.9 earlier too.
I see Trent says it's a little quiet. Robbie, I see you made a comment. Is it quiet for you too, or no? Evan says it's fine.
Okay, seems fine. Well,
Here,
I'll tell you what I'll do. I will turn it up a little bit on my computer because I've noticed when I do that, it plays through my mic.
Well, I can turn it up a little here too.
Oh,
this might make a difference. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Jeff, a lot of teams are going through some kind of attrition right now with injuries or what have you. Did you feel comfortable? Like, how well did you feel equipped to handle that with some of the depth, especially guys that you got in the transfer portal?
What was the last part, especially the guys that have? Right. Well, you know what? You try not to think too much of what you have to get done at the very end. We just, when we got here, we knew we had to go look at the transfer portal and help improve our team. And I don't think that really changes every year. You analyze your team, you try to help it improve and get better. You may need some positions, you may not. But at the same time, you always need depth. you always need guys that can help you play. And if there's guys that are really good players that want to come here and play that we think can help us, we're going to add them to the mix as long as we can fit them in. And we're fair to everybody. We give everybody a fair chance. Our players on the team know when we bring them in, if you're playing well, and
does that sound louder?
Be out there. If someone else comes in and playing better, then they're going to be out there. And we'd like to play a lot. So in a perfect world, we can play a lot of guys. And you see that on defense. We rotate a lot of guys on the defensive line. We've been able to play a lot of guys in the secondary because we've had injuries. We can rotate at the linebacker position. We haven't as much, but we can. Our nickel positions, we rotate that. So we have built depth, and that's through development of our team, some experience, and then the transfer portal on offense. We needed to get more depth on the offensive line. We went out and got it, and they've done a really good job. And so proud of that. We needed to get a few more receivers to add to the mix. We did. We got Isaac in the running back room. He helped. I mean, every little thing matters. We got Jack at quarterback. Even the tight end position with Joey. He's athletic. We're trying to get him involved a little bit more. So I just think all those things matter. It's nothing more than selling this program and what we can do for guys and help them achieve their goals. And you got to attack it every day, and it can get tiresome. But coaching matters. But you have to have players, and I think we've been able to build some depth at key positions, and it's helped us.
Something I did notice today.
Know that Jawar would be able to go today.
Pause it real quick. Something I did notice today. Joey Gatewood got on the field a lot more than he normally does.
I think he's starting to learn the blocking schemes a little bit, which, the less predictable he is. Like before, it's like if Joey Gatewood goes out there, it's going to be a pass because he didn't know the blocking schemes yet. That's my hypothesis. That's what I think was the case since he was a quarterback. But if he can really learn this is his last year, which is a damn shame. I really wish we could have got him a year ago, put him in the tight end position, and then been able to do what we're doing. Did we lose somebody? Oh, Ash fell off. Let me fix these banners while we're talking. But
I was really hoping when we went for it on 4th that he was about to do Joey Gatewood tush push. I thought that's what was about to happen.
Well, you know what? I'm just going to take it all off then. There we go. I would have loved to. That's what I think we need to do on a future 4th and inches is a Joey Gatewood tush push since he was a quarterback. I don't remember who came up with that idea.
That was Pat.
Pat? Okay. That was a good idea. I remember thinking that. All right, let's continue.
And moving forward, what you saw from Isaac today, what does it do for his confidence and your confidence? Maybe, if you have to deal with that situation, if that's kind of a lingering thing with you are.
Well, unfortunately, we had at least a handful of guys that, were nicked up at the end of the last game that, we had concerns about. And today's age, you don't want to tell the other team too much what's going on because there were some pivotal positions. So we tried to get them ready as fast as we could, which really just meant rehabbing them, and they didn't really practice. I give Jawar a lot of credit. He's nicked up in multiple spots. He tried to give it a go. He went out there and played. Luckily, Isaac and Maurice stepped in and kind of took it over. We didn't have to use them as much, so that was great to see. So I'm proud of that running back room. At the receiver position, Jamari couldn't go. When can he go? I don't know. But Jaden has worked hard. And he stepped in. He's been his backup all year and had the touchdown catch. Caught another one down low. Didn't have to throw the ball a lot. Our other receivers played hard. They've been unselfish. I'm sure they like to catch more balls. And we'd like to throw more balls to them. But right now, the formula that we've used has been efficient and effective. And so they've been very unselfish. Had some linemen that couldn't practice at all that sucked it up and went to the game again. And in the secondary, we were down some spots there. Storm stepped in and did well, and then he got hurt a little bit, had to come in and get a shot or whatever he had to get done, and some other guys came in. So, that's that time of the year. We try not to make excuses. It's going to happen to everybody. Everybody has injuries. You get the next guy in there, and they got to go play. And, I'm proud of today. They went in there and played well.
Hey, pause it real quick because I'm going to hop off here in a second. So his point about Jamari messed up his other hand from opposite the one that he did against Pittsburgh.
So he has 2 hand issues now, or
Dang.
Yes, correct.
That's some bad luck, man.
That is really bad, actually. Yeah.
So I just got home. I'll let y'all have at it. Go Cards. Great game today. I'm thinking about driving up Thursday. We'll see if that happens or not.
All right. Well, we'll
Yes,
see.
sir.
Thanks for
Good
being
talking
on,
to you,
Connor.
brother.
Well, we're going to go out with one, and we're going to put Patrick on while we're filing people in. Pat, what's going on, man?
What's going on, guys?
All right, we're going to get through this press conference, and then we'll talk. But I just
Seem to find his groove, especially defensively. While Ashton gets a lot of the attention, seems like everybody's making plays. TJ Quinn made an unbelievable interception today. What makes the defense so good, and so many guys seem to come in and play so well, just from a pass rush standpoint, defending the run, and in the passing game?
Well, believe it or not, in my opinion, we've coached better. I didn't think I coached well in the Pittsburgh game. We were too aggressive. We had turnovers. Gave the other team the ball. On defense, we were probably too aggressive. Let them throw it over our head. So we needed to coach better. So now that we're coaching better, our players are executing very well. We're a little more conservative in our approach, believe it or not, but we're smarter in what we're doing while still being aggressive to a certain degree, and our guys are executing. So right now, we really haven't had to open the playbook, so to speak, in the passing game. We really haven't had to bring the house, so to speak, on defense. We've just kind of ran our package. So I just think because of that, they understand it. They're playing well. The mixture of all the things we've done has helped us kind of throw the offense and defense off. And I just think, it starts with me and our coaches, and then our players have done a really good job.
Can we pause there real quick?
Yes.
That segment right there, I want to make 2 points. One, man, and I talked about this Wednesday, but it's so refreshing hearing that accountability from Jeff talking about, hey, yeah, we're coaching better, and I made some mistakes in that Pitt game. I don't think we've had a coach since I've been a fan that really would say that. And it's, as a fan, it's refreshing to hear that, hey, yeah, I've made some mistakes and I've improved on them. And, it's not the players' fault all the time. Sometimes coaches make mistakes too. So that's one big thing. And then also we're talking about, all these people stepping up on defense. And I've got to say, man, our defensive depth this year is probably the best it's been since the strong days, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
When you have the ability to put in like an all ACC performer at corner and Storm Duck because your top guy's injured, like that just speaks volumes. And Storm, I thought, had an excellent day today.
Yeah.
His leading tackler had another good game, first career interception, first career sack. I guess what's been the most impressive or exciting part about his growth this season?
Well, TJ, it's eerie. He reminds me so much of his dad, who I played with. His dad was hard nosed. He was tough. He would hit you harder than anybody could hit you. He didn't say boo, boo, but he worked his butt off. And TJ, is probably even better. He's been a starter for us. He plays hard. He's all over the field. He'll tackle. He'll run. He'll work his tail off. You can coach him hard if you want to. You can lead him in the right way, and he'll continue to do it. He's unselfish as well. His teammates love him. So he's just a really good leader that I don't think has played a whole lot to this year, but we've thrown him in there, and, he's been, a big difference maker for us each and every week. And, somebody that we rely on and count on to play well because he helps us win.
That's pretty cool. I didn't realize he played with TJ's dad.
Really efficient day today, 11 of 12. What have you liked from him after the bye
11 of 12.
Well, I think Jack really did a really good job again. That's 2 weeks in a row, and you can say, well, we didn't throw it a whole lot. Well, you know what? We've asked to change up the formula a little bit and see if it's effective.
Got 34
He's
points.
taking care of the ball. He's made good decisions. He's got us in the right play. He's got us in the right play in the run game. He's very smart in his approach to the game. He's distributed the ball accurately when he's had to. And like I told him, we're going to have some games at some point. We're going to have to air it out, and you're going to have to be efficient and throw a bunch of darts and all those things, and still not turn over very much. But he's done a great job. I mean, because of his experience, because of his knowledge, his intelligence, because he wants to win so bad, and the fact he's a really good teammate, he does what we've asked him, and he's understands his offense as good as me, if not better. And when you have that guy out there on the field, it really helps. So I just really proud of his performance, and really all of our quarterbacks have worked hard, and we feel comfortable putting any of them in.
Jeff, you mentioned that you guys are playing complementary football right now, but it almost feels like the offense and the defense are almost feeding off of each other. And when good teams can have that, it can kind of reach another level. Do you sense that they're doing that?
I think so. I mean, I think this team has really gelled together lately very well. I think they understand what we're good at, what we're trying to do, what we need to improve at, and then we go out there and do what we do best and hope that it works. And if we got to adjust, then we adjust. But I just think special teams has done a really good job as well. All three segments have stepped up and performed at a high level the last few weeks. They understand that each and every week the bar gets raised due to your performance, and you have to come out and do it again. So we challenge our guys every week, man. You can't rest on what happened last week or what you've done in the past. It's about what are you going to do in the future? What are you going to do today? That's what matters. That's what everyone wants to see. So don't doubt that you can play better than you have. If you are, you're cheating yourself. So I just think we challenge our guys to raise the bar each and every week. They've stepped up to the challenge. It will continue to bar will have to be raised even higher, and we'll see just how high we can take it.
If you've talked about Brian's toughness before, how much has he?
One more time.
Oh yeah, Brian Hudson. You've talked about his toughness before. How much has he shown you as a leader this season to keep going out there and play? So.
Well, with Brian, he's not able to practice a whole lot during the week. When we get to some walkthrough stuff, he kind of goes through it and takes mental reps. You'd have to amputate his leg for him not to play. I mean, that's like he's going to go out on the field and play. Like of all the people, like what's Brian have? Well, it doesn't matter. He's going to play in the game on Saturday. I mean, that's just kind of what you get, which is impressive because that's a hard job, playing center, making all the calls. You still got to be athletic. You still got to get some type of mental work or film work to make sure you're ready to go. It's hard not to, be able to practice as much as you like. But he's got experience. He's got knowledge. He's also a quiet team leader who exemplifies what that position is all about. Just toughness and grit, unselfishness. Doesn't matter whether he's healthy or not. He's going to be on the field. So very, very proud of him. And so is our team. Our team looks up to him. He's a really good leader.
Real quick, I do, if we want to talk about Brian some more, because I completely agree with what Jeff's saying. But Macro says in the chat, hit the like button for another Cards win and JoJo Stone joining the Afros. Macro, that's exactly right, brother. Hit the like button, subscribe, guys, if you haven't already. But yeah, back to what Jeff was saying. Like Brian Hudson, man, he's just an Iron Man. He's seriously like. It's super impressive to know that he's been dealing with all these nagging injuries and he just keeps suiting up again and again. I'm so proud of Brian Hudson and his leadership ability all year long. It's super impressive. Super impressive.
You have to know he wanted to get out there bad tonight playing Virginia Tech.
Yeah. Definitely.
That's it. All right. Well, impressive as always. We love post game press conferences after a big W.
They're always the best ones.
So Patrick, you weren't really on earlier. What was your take? Obviously, the score and the game itself are pretty self-explanatory. But what was your biggest takeaway?
Man, I think the adaptability of our coaching staff and the play calling, I think, is the biggest takeaway. Carried over from the Duke game. Controlling the ball and the clock with the run, knowing that you've got a defense that's going to keep the other team off the board. That's not something you've seen in a Brom team in his coaching career, really. So that I'm impressed with that adaptability, and also, salute to the players like Plummer and our receivers who have to sacrifice for that, style. I think that shows a lot of how close this team is with each other and how they just want to win. So, I mean, that's kind of what I took away. Obviously another great game where we kicked some ass, man. I mean, that final score is awesome. I thought the crowd again, you're going to get people who complain about it, but 50K strong every week. And Brom's first year after we've had a lot of down years is that's a good job by our fan base, and I think it'll grow in the upcoming years as there's going to be a lot more hype going into the years, and so I'm sure season ticket sales will continue to rise. But yeah, no, a fun atmosphere, a fun game to watch. And short turnaround next week, but I'm glad we've got Virginia, and then hopefully that leads to a longer turnaround for Miami, so you can hopefully get a little healthy and have some more time to prepare for that game. So,
man, Jamari Thrash, I didn't realize he hurt his other hand. It's like, I don't know if he's playing his hand weird I don't know what's going on with that. It's just kind of odd. It's probably just sheer coincidence, but man, that sucks that he has both of his 2 hand injuries of both hands, obviously. So I don't know. Hopefully we can get him back. Like I said, I think if we can rest him against Virginia and take care of business, but I think we'll need him against Miami, and we'll need him to be able to play the way he can play. I don't want to go to Miami without Jamari Thrash if we can avoid it. I mean, obviously, if you can't play, can't play. I'm just saying. I hope that's not the case. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Was,
we just had Neil's comment on there about Ron English, who's obviously done a tremendous job after receiving a lot of hate from me included at the beginning of the year. And one thing I kind of wonder is, if this continues throughout the end of the year, is Ron English going to get a call from a, big, I mean, not saying we're not a big time school, but a big time
like
school.
Michigan State, perhaps, or
and maybe even maybe even get a head coaching look at a smaller school. Who knows? I mean, I know he's an older guy, so that might be out of the question. But it's an interesting thing to think about. Hopefully, he keeps it going, and we keep.
Have some dudes reaching out.
I can see it for sure.
Do they have I don't know. I assume they have an award for defensive coordinator of the year. I don't know if they do. Or
he
not.
has to be up
but
there.
If they
I
do,
mean,
he has to be. He has to be in the top 5 of that. I would think, considering his first season, how it's gone. Now, obviously, you have to close it strong. You can't just go in the season with a bunch of high scoring games for the opponent. But based on his trajectory and what he's done, if we continue like this, it's really hard not to imagine he would be in that conversation for that. But yeah, he's going to have some. I mean, if they keep it up and if they close strong like we're hoping they do, then yeah, you'd have to think there's going to be some big schools knocking on our door. You just have to hope. Here's the thing now. I mean, he was at Purdue with Coach Brom, and he came back to Louisville, and he claims he really liked it here. And I mean, Coach Brom brought him here with him, even though a lot of us were kind of skeptical of bringing him. So that being said, I hope there is some loyalty, but I mean, I'm not the kind of fan that's going to be jaded and upset and bitter if he takes a different position. I do hope he sticks around at this point, which is just crazy because, saying that, it's kind of like hypocritical almost after the beginning of the year when we're like, the off season, we're like, why didn't we go with somebody else?
Yeah. I mean, Robbie's out here throwing around dollars, man. He's going to get Ron paid.
Robbie's going to get him paid. Robbie's going to give Ron the bag.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to make donations, man, I'll send you my Venmo. I got.
That means
we don't want you to leave, Robbie. Just stay right here on the
Robbie, just stay with us, brother. We don't want you to leave.
Guys, I didn't know if you guys had anything else y'all wanted to talk about before we wrap up tonight.
Well, guys, we would be remiss, I think. I know it's been a great show so far talking about the win. but I think we would be remiss if we at least didn't touch on any predictions for Monday night, because we won't have an episode between now and the first basketball game of the season. Any thoughts on what you guys expect to happen Monday night?
Oh man.
No thoughts.
I don't know what to expect. I really don't.
I don't.
We
I don't
should
see how
win that
anybody could
game.
even make a prediction. Like, what do you expect to happen? I have no clue. But I could see us winning by 20. I could see us losing by 10. I could see literally any option on the table. I could see it all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know what to expect.
I'm going to go into the game with an open mind and watch it play out. I'm not going to make any prediction or have any expectation, but I just want to see what happens.
Yeah.
And
that's what I'm going to go into.
Maybe they'll blow us away. Maybe we'll be all surprised and coming on Wednesday night just raving about how good they played. Who knows?
I hope so.
Just be a detached spectator. That would be my advice. Just kind of check it out. I mean, obviously we're fans, but don't get
still
get
to
too
be
invested.
determined for our followers whether or not we'll have a post game Monday night. That's still undetermined. So, but keep an eye out. We'll let you guys know.
All right. With that being said, guys, I think we're going to wrap this up. Big win. We're really rolling. Sole possession of second place in the ACC. And, take care of business Thursday. Get a week and a half off. Big game going into Miami. That being said, guys, I think we're going to wrap this up. I'm going to end it with a go Cards.
Go Cards. Like and
Cards.
subscribe, guys.
Go NC State.
Like and subscribe, turn on the bell so anytime we come on here, you can see us and know that we're coming on. We try to come on here every Wednesday at 9, but we have post game. Sometimes we have emergency pods, so you want to turn those notifications on. Thank you guys so much, as always.
And hit that like button on this particular episode too, guys. Thank you.